Hello, Kenyans. I know much is happening within the political realms in this country, and there are very many other political realignment that are focusing on 2027 general elections. And I know most of the Kenyans have already decided to whom they think they will vote for in 2027, and they feel that is their candidate of choice. Okay, let's just mention but a few. The incumbent president, that is President William Samoei Ruto, is one of the people that some people have chosen to vote for 2027 for in 2027. With their reasons, well respected. There are those who are thinking that Maraga is the best choice, but a few people think he's the best choice. There are those who think that this Minister of Interior, what is his name? Matiang'i is a best choice again in 2027. Well, that is right. And there are others who think that the one-term, one-touch guy, you guys know what I'm talking about. We're talking about Guy Shagwa, is also the best choice when it comes to 2027. But that is what you people think. It reminds me of a story in the Bible. It reminds me of a story in the Bible. This story of two people, that is David and Saul. No one ever knew that Saul can be. After the rule of Saul, things were not good for the Israelites. And they cried unto God for God to give them another leader, because Saul had really oppressed them. But remember, when they requested for another king that they can see and touch and relate with just like any other nation, Samuel came in and cautioned them. He told them, the king that you guys are demanding for will steal from you. Like he will take lands from you. He will get a lot of things from you. He will get your women and your young girls for himself. But people said, no, we will just want him, we just want him. Yeah, okay. The will of the people was respected. God respected the will of people, and he gave them whatever they wanted. He gave them Saul. And Saul was so tough and so bad to them, and they cried again to God, like, oh, give us another leader. And the leader that they gave was from a place that most people never expected. But he was a leader who was tried and tested, not in the eyes of people, but in the eyes of God. And this was David. He was tried and tested, not in the eyes of God, not in the eyes of people, but in the eyes of God. And what am I talking about? There is one person that I believe, and I believe this person is the only person who will take Kenya to where Kenya needs to be, to where God wants Kenya to be. But most of the eyes of Kenyans are not looking unto this guy. I know some of you have started guessing. Who is this guy? This guy has been tested. Not in the eyes of people, but again in the eyes of people. Partly in the eyes of people and partly in the eyes of God. And this guy is one and the only MARAGA. MARAGA has been tested. He has been tested in all angles. He has been in the government, and you know what this guy did. He was a man who was after justice. Even after the general elections went hayway, he stood to nullify the election. The only judge who has ever nullified elections in the heat of a political heat and a political turmoil in this country. But he made sure that he's bringing the country to where it's supposed to be. This is the man I'm talking about. I know most of you Kenyans don't look at him as that. Someone who can help us, someone who can, because he's not so vocal and he's not so loud, he's not diarrheaing with his mouth, abusing one leader after the other the way other politicians do. He is not a politician. MARAGA is a leader. And Kenya doesn't need a politician now. It needs a leader. Someone who has the heart of the people. Someone who relates with the needs of the people. Leave alone the hustler narrative that we had in 2022. Leave alone that one. I'm not talking about that narrative. I'm talking about someone who values the needs of the people, someone who has ever been on the ground with the people, someone who has a heart for the people, and furthermore, someone who has a heart for God. Leave alone the narrative that we had in 2022 when someone said he loves God so much, the development issues within the church and all that, but when he came to the presidency, things are really happening. Kenyans, what am I trying to say? Personally, I'm presenting to you this guy called MARAGA. He has not paid me to say whatever I'm saying, but I believe it in my heart. This is the guy that Kenya needs currently. Kenya does not need a politician. Kenya needs a leader now. And this leader is the only person that I know currently within the leadership sphere that can do what Kenya needs, that can bring justice in this country, that can develop this country, that can let this country flow to where God wants it to be. This guy is only, MARAGA is the only guy who can do that. And I believe that Kenyans, if you believe in him, if you know these things can happen, why can't we make it happen? If you vote in Gachagua, just be like the current regime. If you vote in the current regime, it's still doing the same thing that they are doing. If you vote in Matiang'i, you remember what happened within his rule, within the internal security. Okay, I don't want to talk much about that, but you guys remember everything. But remember during the tenure of Manyama, what is the name of this guy? MARAGA. When he was the chief of the chiefs of the chief of all the chiefs of, or Chief Justice, I'm sorry. Why am I making it too long? When he was the Chief Justice in this country, there was justice in the country. At least people had hope, people believed in judiciary. But when he left, ask yourself that question. So MARAGA has not paid me to say this, but I believe this is the leader that you guys need, that we guys need in this country. There's no other leader that is better than MARAGA currently. As much as he's soft-spoken, as much as he does not abuse anyone, as much as he doesn't incite people against anyone, that is the most, those are the green lights that we need to look into in a leader. Because a leader does not divide, he brings people together. A leader does not cause brothers to fight. Even when the brothers have conflicts, he still finds a better way and a wise way to bring them together. And this is what MARAGA is doing. So, guys, consider MARAGA. Consider MARAGA. He's the only hope. He's the only hope. Listen to me. I'm not just talking like any layman. No, I'm talking like a man who speaks to God. And this is what God has told me. So, you guys, you either accept the God's will and vote in MARAGA, or deny God's will and vote in any other leader, but you still come back and cry and ask God to show you the way. The choice is ours as Kenyans. MARAGA, the voice of God, the man of God, chosen by God to bring the peace, the David of, the now David of this country. Leave alone what Raila said that is the Joshua. Leave alone the Joshua character of Raila. No, leave alone the character Joshua of Raila. Let's bring on the David character of MARAGA into the picture. And that is all I have for today. I'll give you more information as it comes on. Believe me, MARAGA is the big deal here. He's the deal. MARAGA is the deal here. Thank you.